Are you struggling to sell beats on YouTube? Have you tried uploading beats to YouTube? Have you tried being consistent? Have you tried different keywords and nothing's working? Can't get monetized either because YouTube's requirements are already pretty harsh and they're just gonna get worse. Are you looking for another way to get your beats to artists, to sell your beats without using YouTube? So am I. I've been trying for a long time and I've been hoping that something would come along to replace YouTube. And here's the it's good and bad news. I don't think YouTube's going anywhere anytime soon, and I'll explain why. But first I want to talk about this one producer. Do you remember years ago YouTube was dead, YouTube beats were dead, type beat channels were dead, all of that was supposed to be dead. 10 years ago, the era of selling beats on YouTube is over. That's what people were saying. Here's a producer, this is motivational. Here's a producer that's, I don't know how many plaques, how many hit songs, how many number ones he has under his belt. And in his Lucid Monday interview, he talked about how, this was back when he had 134 subscribers on YouTube. I think he has 180,000 now. He got his start posting NBA Youngboy type beats on YouTube, and then on top of that, as you can see, what ended up happening was NBA Youngboy ended up using some of his beats, which I think is hilarious because, you know, people in my comment section are always like, why are you posting Rick Ross type beats? Rick Ross doesn't fuck with you like that. Rick Ross is gonna be pissed. He's probably gonna sue you for using his name on your beat titles. Bitch, Rick Ross has rapped on a couple of my beats. So it is funny the extent to which people criticize the YouTube producers type beat space without really understanding it. But something else that I think is really crazy about this producer and about a lot of producers like him that are creating hits left and right, I would expect that he's just done with YouTube, because it's like, yo, you've produced hits on hits on hits, you've generated millions of dollars with your music, and he's still uploading. And when you click on the most recent, and like, granted, I don't think he's uploading beats to the frequency that he was 6 years ago. I mean, he still has a BeatStars page. He still has an active BeatStars account. You can buy a TNT beat right now for $30. And this is crazy. I mean, it's not that crazy for me because, like, granted, I have a couple hit songs, not 50 or whatever, however many he has. But most of the producers I know that have hit songs, that currently have hit songs, they're still putting their beats on YouTube and on BeatStars. Like my man General, shout out to General Beats. He's producing singles left and right for all these rappers. Still on BeatStars, still on YouTube. But something else about this article resonated with me, and this is actually a quote from a DJ Booth interview. Shout out to DJ Booth. I think this was, a couple years ago, but he still had a lot of hits back then. He was still talking about how he had to compulsively post a beat, and a lot of producers, like, look what he says, YouTube literally turned my life around, so why not stay consistent with it? A lot of producers that I talk to that swear they're trying their hardest to break through the YouTube algorithm, to sell beats online, they are not consistent. You would expect someone who's probably not in financial need of beat leasing money to just neglect YouTube or just stop altogether. And at that point in his career, he was still uploading all this. I mean, Cash Money AP still uploads all the time. I think lately he's gotten back into it. I think this is motivational. I think the bad news is I don't believe YouTube is going to be replaced by, a fairer algorithm anytime soon. But there are still a lot of emerging success stories well after the point at which most people predicted selling beats on YouTube would have completely dried up. And let's see what TNT actually had to say in his own words about meeting Rod Wave on YouTube, which a lot of people don't know is how it happened. Shout out to Tomorrow Network. It's an excerpt from his interview. Let's see what he had to say about it. I'm of the opinion that the best rap song of the last 5 years is Great Gatsby by Rod Wave. That's my opinion. You can disagree, but I'm right. So let me play this video quick about.
But me and Rod, our relationship started off YouTube. He subscribed to me, just was like, I didn't have his number. Like, a lot of our big placements in the beginning was just straight off YouTube. He just DM'd me and was like, I like this beat. He was like, send it to me. I'm like, bro, I don't got your number. And then that was it. He gave me his number. Then I'm really just starting to take it in, because I was always just constantly working. So I didn't really grasp, like, how crazy it really is. Like, man, y'all started off YouTube, and then it's like y'all making 50 platinum records together, So, I mean, I'm really just starting to really sit back and just really like, man, this is crazy. It's like y'all really are imprinted, in history, like creating a sound together.
So I mean, there's a lot to take in. What were your initial reactions to that? Are you a Rod Wave fan? Dang, probably not.
No, I haven't listened to a lot of his music. I know from, again, this may not be all of his music, but the perception I have of Rod Wave, at least what a lot of people say, is that it's depressing. Like,
Oh
it's
yeah.
good music, but it's depressing. And I'm naturally not going to gravitate towards that, so I never have dove into his catalog. Is that a fair assessment of his music? Is a lot of his
I
music?
mean, it's in the eye of the beholder. Just because you see the videos of people crying at his concerts, they're not necessarily crying because they're depressed or sad. They might just be emotionally resonating with the music. That's all.
Okay, so that's not a fair. He's got more uplifting and
Yeah, I
positive.
think it's
I mean,
uplift. I don't. I think it's more. It's just it's emotional. I think a lot of people are, today in 2026, a lot of us don't know how to express our emotions, right? And so we think that any sort of expression of emotion is either weakness if it's anything but anger, or it's crashing out if it's setting boundaries. And I feel like, as a result, we look at Rod Wave's music and music like his and think, oh, man, that's just depressing. But there's a broad spectrum of emotions that can lead to you crying at the concert like a little ass kid. So that's all I'm saying.
so maybe I just need a little bit more background to. I'm not familiar with this producer TNT, so obviously it sounded like they initially connected just on YouTube,
Yeah.
and they just kind of grew the relationship from there, which happens, I think, a lot, and I think it's dope that Rod kind of stuck with. I don't know how long they've been making music, but it sounds like they've been making music for some time together. If that number's accurate, 50 plus, big records.
Yeah, I mean, and TNT's produced a lot of his songs for other artists too, but
Is
with
that
the
how he
rock,
got? Is that how he got his start, or like it really people started catching on to who TNT is with working with Rod Wave, or did he already have buzz?
that's a good question. I know that I started hearing his name because of Rod Wave, because he was on every single, his tag was on every single Rod Wave song. It felt like I saw a photo recently of him posing with some of the new plaques that they ordered, and he was in his driveway, and there were like 30 of them. It was crazy. So, but the other thing too is back to the YouTube thing. That's really what I want to emphasize. I remember you remember an era too, Dame, when producers did not want to put their music on YouTube. They didn't want to put their beats on YouTube. People are gonna steal my beats, or I don't want these trash rappers listening to my shit and ruining it.
Right.
Okay. It's like, the British dude meme, the this guy meme, where it's like, if you never release your music, no rapper will ever use it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
I mean, that's the power of obviously the internet, and just putting yourself out there. I'm always telling people, and this is just kind of a version of this, but like, even if you're not a producer, it really just goes to being loud about what you do. Like, you have to let people know what you do if you ever want people to reach out for your services. So if you're a producer, my approach would be, especially if you don't have traction and you're not selling stuff yet, like, just you trying to get as much awareness as possible. So putting your music in as many places so people can hear your talent, right? If you're a public speaker, you should probably have clips of you being a public speaker and sharing your message. Like, whatever it is you do, you have to be loud about it. Is uncomfortable. I'm not the most comfortable, like, putting things out there, but if I want people to ever reach out to me, or a lot of times when people see what we're doing, they're reaching out and asking how they can contribute. So if I didn't share what we were doing, those people wouldn't know what we were doing, and they wouldn't say, "Hey, I have this location. Do you guys want to use it?" Or, "I have this. Do you guys want to use this music?" Or, so that is one of the main reasons why I try to be louder about everything that I'm working on, because a lot of times people tap in without me even reaching out. So it's just important. A lot of people are uncomfortable being loud. Um, you gotta break through that shell.
we talked about this all the time. There's always a good excuse for a musician to not try, right? And so a great excuse for producers to not try is, oh, it's too saturated, or oh, if I put my beats on YouTube, people are going to steal them, or oh, if I put my beats out on YouTube, um, think of the wildest excuse. I don't want to become a YouTube superstar. I don't want to be Mr. Beast. Get the fuck out of here. You're scared, and whatever confronting of your own inner demons you need to do, you got to do that. But I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure TNT did get his start on YouTube. I'm looking stuff up. But the other thing too that I wanted to mention is there was a beat, and I've interviewed the producer behind this beat. It was called 10 Toes Challenge, and it was this viral rap challenge from many years ago, I think at least over a decade. And Rod Wave jumped on that. I don't think people know that, but he was on, and there's a video of someone just recording him rapping to this on a phone in a room, sitting in a computer desk chair, and he's shouting out his SoundCloud at the beginning. That's the era that this happened in. So, Dame, do you know what the number one platform globally for music consumption is?
It's probably YouTube.
It's absolutely YouTube. So the foothold that YouTube still has in music isn't going anywhere. It doesn't seem. I mean, they're number one globally, more so than Spotify, right? And I know as a producer, I'm always wondering what's next. Will there be a new big platform for traffic sources yet, or soon? I don't know. Are you seeing anything that's coming that can rival YouTube as far as musical discovery? Because that's really still where people are getting their beats.
No, definitely. I mean, nothing's coming close to YouTube. What you might find is something that excels in a particular niche, like, a particular genre or something. I'm not saying that I see this, but I don't think you're going to see anything just come on the scene and rival YouTube.
Yeah.
Like it'll start maybe with a very specific genre or subculture or something. And if that fits the lane that you're in, it would make a whole lot of sense to be there. But again, I don't even, see that at the moment. It might exist, but I'm not sure. So yeah, I mean, if you're still at a phase where people have to convince you to be loud about what you do, then, even this podcast is not for you yet. Like we're hopefully talking to people that are comfortable in sharing their gifts. And again, it's not because we've heard even stories with Tyler, the Creator, finding people on the internet that don't even have very many views.